7, let's call this meeting to order. All rise for the pledge, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And have a roll call.
John Phelps. Here. C.C. Johnston.
Yes.
Mike Matternich. Here. John Leo.
Here.
Matt McGarrett.
Here.
We have a floor.
All right. Minutes from the January 6th meeting. Any comments, changes?
They look good to me, so barring any other observations, I would make a motion to approve as submitted.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, and the bill committee, everything? Look good on the bill
That does
committee?
look good.
I had one correction Nick and I talked about for $8.58, receipt that, and everything else was good.
All right, good.
And I'll produce that for review tomorrow, so we can postpone the approval of the bills. Or I just want it noted that there is a $8.58 credit from the IGA that we need to address. So it just didn't get stapled and put in the pile.
So everything comes to a grinding halt for $8.
A couple of candy bars.
All right, no further work on the bills. Anyone have any citizen comment tonight that's not on the agenda? Once, twice, 3 times?
Just a quick question, Nick, without approval, does that mean that we can't proceed until we next get
We can
together?
approve as long as, I guess it's kind of an odd situation, approve and then I can prove it tomorrow to one or all of you. Or we can just let them set and approve them next meeting as well. That's, I guess, probably the right way to go about it, is approve them next meeting.
As long as it doesn't create a problem. I mean, if you're in a 2-week cycle, that's gonna,
Yeah. Can they be paid if they're not approved?
No. We can approve minus the IGA bill.
well, that's what I was gonna say, you pay everything except that one and bring that one for $8 in the IGA next meeting.
That will work, yes, if I could have a motion to approve.
So I would make a
those.
motion that we exclude the IGA invoice and pay everything else as reviewed.
Yeah.
All right, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now it's our turn.
I just want to request, because we're going to closed session, if I can move the manager's report up to, for the closed session, unless you want to have manager's report after closed session.
Let's do it before.
Okay.
Everyone wants to know.
Our first item on the agenda is the Winter Ice Fest and Chili Cook-Off. This is the second annual one. It's scheduled for February 7th and 8th, so it's in a few weeks. Margot's the news is a new DDA director, as you know, and she's just going to be giving an overview of the event and answer any questions. We talked about it with Margot, because the police chief has been working with Margot on the route, and as well as you've been talking with Lucas as well, so I'll let Margot take over.
Hello, everyone. Might as sit down. Thanks. Okay. So I'm here on behalf of the DDA to request approval for this year's Harbor Springs Ice Festival. It's the second annual Ice Fest. It'll be located downtown Harbor Springs. It's going to be featuring ice sculptures, dueling chainsaw competition, ice carving demos, a chili cook-off, live music, sled dog demos, and more. And the hope of the event is to draw locals and tourists to the downtown area at a time when it's a little bit slower, and that they would shop and dine and enjoy the festival, and then keep coming for the next several days to weeks, weather permitting, and we still have the sculptures on display. We have currently signed up 42 ice sculptures that are going to go in the downtown area. Basically from Judd Street down to the Holy Childhood Parish Hall and to Zorn Park. There's going to be carriage rides that will come down from the Christmas tree, down Main Street, turning right onto Judd, coming back up Bay and up the alley, back to the Christmas tree to road again. We'll have demos in Zorn Park and both the north and south parks, as well as carving demos at various restaurants and locations around the city. And then there will be a chili cook-off inside the Holy Childhood Parish Hall. We'll end the 2 days with s'mores outside of Pearson's. They have offered to do that. And so basically I'm here seeking approval for the overall event and the activities to occur in the downtown area on February 7th and 8th of 2020. I'm seeking approval for the closure of Main Street at the Christmas tree to the alleyway, as discussed with Chief Knight. Also asking for DPW assistance for snow removal, sand, and salt as needed. And I have discussed that both with Chief Knight and with Des Vanderzee. Sawhorses to be placed in the demonstration, the larger demonstration areas down at Zorn Park, also towards the Stafford's parking lot and corner, and then also where the carriage rides are going to take place. We will also need from the city electric power and the generator, which I've also discussed with this and the use of that for the city. We're also requesting approval for hot chocolate to be sold on Main Street. The Harbor Springs High School has requested to sell hot chocolate as a fundraiser for the student council, and so we would like approval for that, as well as the Harbor Springs Key Club, their Kiwanis program is requesting approval to sell soda in the chili, inside the chili cook-off. Right now we have, I think, 9 professional chefs, restaurants that are participating in the chili cook-off and 3 amateurs, and we've already put in the application for a temporary food license, and that's needed there. So, and we thank you, the city, and everyone else that has bought sculptures and for sponsorship. And so if you have any questions, happy to hopefully answer them.
That sounds like you got everything covered.
You've involved all the right people, so, any
You're good, Chief, with
questions?
everything?
Yeah, Margot and I talked today, we've talked, and the committee's awesome, and so I've been to most of the meetings, or some of them are,
Last year, everything seemed to go well, so.
Yes. We're just gonna add this, and I think last year we closed it off from basically where the farmer's market is, we're gonna do the same thing this year. And the carriage rides is good, instead of dropping off down at the marina where it did last year, it's gonna drop off there. And I think that'll be, more exposure, and it's free this year. And, so I think it will be a good thing overall. And Margot's been really good working with me, and that map she did is like, right. We're just in discussion about closing Main Street from the alley all the way down to Traverse Street, and that's to be determined yet.
I was just gonna ask about that, because with all the demos that are gonna happen in that one section, it might help.
My concern, well, I'll air this out, because Margaret and I talked today, my concern about closing that off is that you, depending on how long you close it, but you're losing about 15 or 20 parking spots by closing it both sides. And if you close it, there's also, we were all aware of the lady who cuts hair down there, who came in and expressed her concern about even closing off for the farmer's market. I don't know if she's open on this day or not, but.
They sold that.
They sold it.
Oh, good, then we don't have to worry about that, all right? So that, I wasn't aware of that. But that was one of my concerns. Because if we're gonna close it, we might as well close that Traverse Street, because there's no way for cars to turn around. So my only concern is we're gonna lose other parking spots if people do come to church early, or even for the chili cook-off. That's a lot of parking spots to lose for, we have the parking lot in the back. I'll open it up for discussion, because I'm teetering on that.
Cook-off's over at 4, right? 2 to 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm,
Most of the traffic would be,
it'd be done.
the pedestrian traffic would be done.
I don't see a problem. I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Given when it ends, if it ends at 4, you open it up for church, that's plenty.
Yep, I'm good with that. I just, as long, you guys approve it, I'm great.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Including the closure down to Trevor's.
I'm just thinking this through. All right.
Well, I mean, you and Margot can obviously, I think, work out the details, but unless there's objections, it makes sense to me to close that out. We're hoping there's gonna be a lot of people there, having the street closed just gives you more flexibility.
Do what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking in my head about if we close Bay Street down by Zorn Park and we close that completely off, the only way for anybody to get out to where Mr. Raymond lives is to go all the way up to Third Street, come down Travers, come in the back of 2 hours up to
For how many hours?
2 hours.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any complaints, call the police department.
No,
No, if we have to get through there with the big rigs, it's not. a
we
big
get, oh,
deal.
we get it, yeah.
So it's,
All right, sounds good.
I would second that motion.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for all the hard work. There's
She's
a lot
worked
of,
very hard at it. They all have, the community's over there.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is item B, extension of the chamber lease of the Blackbird Museum. I think several months ago, I came in, talked about how we're talking with the Harbor Springs Circle Society to eventually, potentially expand the space inside the Blackbird Museum to be all the museum, instead of just part of the museum. And we're working with the Circle Society on that, and we're still in the planning stages. In the meantime, we are talking with Molly. We're looking at a potentially 2-year renewal lease for the chamber to be in the Blackbird Museum that would run through January 31st, 2022, I believe I had in our lease. And I think Molly's gonna take it to her board unless she already, I think this Thursday? Are you
I
taking-
talked to the exec committee about it already, and
They're fine.
yeah.
Okay, so we're fine, if the chamber's fine with that, I think next step is for you guys to approve that renewal of the lease for 2 years, essentially the same exact terms and conditions as the previous lease. In the meantime, then we can start talking with the chamber about any potential places for them to move in the future, whether we want to talk about Ford Park. We can have that discussion in the future, but right now, I think we're just looking at a 2-year extension and then take things as they come.
makes sense to me.
Any objections? I make a motion to approve the lease for the Chamber of Commerce.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Item C on our agenda is after-hours electric service connection fee. So, the city, when a customer doesn't pay their electric bill, we go through numerous steps to, ensure that that customer pays the bill. So sometimes it's giving them calls, well, usually it is calling them, sending them out a letter or two to let them know that they have an overdue invoice. If we don't hear any response from them, based on the process outlined in section 23.3 of our city code, we put in a notice, usually to shut off the service to that customer. When the customer pays that bill, there's a reconnection fee, and in the normal work hours, it's $110. However, sometimes that reconnection fee or that reconnection request happens after hours, or that they make that payment while we're still in the office, but the electric linemen have ended their regular work hour day. So to bring an electric lineman back out onto the job, per our contract, IBEW contract, they have to be out on the job for 2 hours. So even if it's just a 15-minute reconnection fee that they have to do, they still are getting paid for 2 hours at a time and a half. So that seriously increases the cost of how much it costs the city to actually reconnect. So you're talking about the staff time plus the benefits associated with that. We estimated that depending on who the lineman is on call, it can be anywhere between $200 and $250. for the total fee. So that's, we're recommending increasing the fee for after-hours reconnection to $250 to better reflect the costs to the city, keeping the during hours reconnection fee at $110. We don't get that many, Nick, if I'm not mistaken, we only probably get a handful that are after hours.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's not a lot of people, but it still is a few. So I would make a recommendation, the council approve an increased fee of $250 for after-hours reconnection.
Well, we should cover our costs, makes sense. Just for education purposes, how many reconnections do we do a year?
A year,
Just roughly.
we probably do, in the summer months, a dozen a month, give or take. It depends on the month, but we try to reach out to as many as we can. We send letters and letters and letters. Then we try to make phone calls and follow up with everybody and say, hey. But we, anywhere from 6 to 12 a month.
That's a lot of overhead, jeez.
And maybe one or two of those a month are after hours.
Right.
You know,
If that,
if that.
because people know, I mean, they
I was
know
just
where-
curious on the volume.
But on off times that we do have to send the lineman out to reconnect the service, I can't really promote losing money on that.
No, not at all. So you need a motion for that?
Yeah, because it's a fee, yeah.
So I'd make a motion that we approve the increase in after-hours reconnection fees.
I'll second that.
Roll call on that.
Just in that motion, we're increasing it from $110 after hours to $250, correct? Who did I have a second? Cece. Mike Maturkas,
Yes.
John Cox,
Yes.
Cece Johnson,
Yes.
John Leo,
Yes.
and Matt O'Hare.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. The next item, item D, is State Street electric generator repair. In November, we came to council with an emergency repair of $18,000 to repair the State Street electric generator. After they came and inspected the generator, they discovered there was other damage to it. And you'll see in the attached quotes, they have what that other damage includes. And I think it was the main stator, is that what it's called? Yeah. And so they increased the quote to, emergency repair went to roughly $28,000. And there's talk about whether we should get just a new one instead of repairing it. However, a new one would take approximately 4 months to get here. Repairing it would be done within a month, probably. So it's roughly the same cost, but we just don't want to wait 4 months to repair that. So I would recommend that council approve that increased cost to cover the additional necessary work.
We could buy a new generator for the
Oh,
$28,000.
the new
Part.
the new part, the
Part,
new
okay.
main rotor lead,
Just check.
yeah, not the generator, no.
And just to supplement that, and real quickly talking to Lucas and all involved, that the warranty on that particular part, whether it be new or rebuilt, is 1 year. So we're
Oh,
really,
I was just gonna ask.
That was my next question. You need a motion on that?
Yeah,
I would make a motion that we approve the increase in repair costs.
Second.
do a roll call on that. C.C. Johnson,
Yes.
John Leo,
Yes.
John Cox.
Yep.
Michael Turkis.
Yep.
And Matt O'Hare.
Yes.
Motion carried.
all right, thank you. Item E on city manager section is bucket and snow pusher purchase. So the quote is to replace our aging 20, which is about 20 years old or older, snow bucket and snow pusher. It's, it was part of the capital improvements plan, and we had projected it would cost about $13,000 to replace it. The quote we got from AIS Construction is for $12,500. This is a Komatsu loader that we have, and it's also, it only can use Komatsu parts. And the only Komatsu dealer in Michigan is AIS Construction, so we cannot go out and get essentially another quote from someone else unless we wanna go out of state, which would just drastically increase the cost for delivering it. So we only are getting the one quote from AIS Construction, even though there's, our purchase and bid policy says to get 2 quotes. But we cannot put like John Deere or Cat parts on the Komatsu order, so we have to use these Komatsu parts. So really, this is, we're stuck with this quote, but it came in under than what we, $500, but under what we expected in our capital improvements plan. So I recommend the council approve this purchase of the bucket and pusher for $12,500.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Great, thank you. And then I'll just jump to the manager's report session, just to go over some of the updates. Regarding the logo contest, we received about 8 submissions, which I think is nice, but I think we could potentially get more. So I'm just requesting and suggesting that we extend the deadline for the logo submission to the end of February to see if we can get more people to submit drawings and ideas. We're in no rush to do the logo, so I think to give people more time would be beneficial to us and them.
I'm glad to hear we've gotten some.
The new phone system is fully installed. We're not fully experts, but
Not even close.
but it's better. So our next big task for internal technology in the office part is to go to the online payments and credit card payments that we approved a couple months ago. So that, we're looking at scheduling that about a month away, February 21st, I believe.
Yeah, we need a software upgrade for our internal working software, and that's due on February 20th, first or something like that. And then right on the heels of that, we'll start on the credit card, so,
Just for utilities.
yeah, you could have utilities, taxes, and whatever payments. People will be able to log in through the website and set up an account there and go right online and pay it.
Well, good luck with the upgrade.
Well, so that's why I'm not giving a firm deadline on that.
We're hoping for sometime in March, but
Right.
again, you never know with upgrades and technology, but we're headed that direction. The media technology upgrade project in council chambers that we approved last meeting, I believe, is scheduled for January 27th, tentatively. So hopefully by the next council meeting, we'll be using a TV and a projector screen and the new audio.
Cool.
I have a side comment with that is if, the tree board has agreed to go paperless, so I'm giving the council the option, individual members, if you want to go paperless, and then just use the screens and your computers at home to review the material, or we can still continue giving you papers, it's up to you. I'm just, with the technology available, it might be easier to view the documents if they're on screen, so just give that a thought and email me your preferences and how you want to
Well,
do that.
John's gonna be able to handle that with all those Post-its that he's saving now.
That guy.
Yeah, that John.
I can highlight on a computer. Hey, we have the tools. I like the idea of going paperless.
Yeah, me too.
So much of this gets used for one meeting in the second. So why not at least try it?
And if you ever need a copy,
It can always be
Yeah,
printed.
no, I request a print, so. We're gonna be taking that request to other boards and commissions as well.
Hope you PDF it and put it into an email form and, anytime you want to, refer back.
Overall, it could be a significant savings.
Yes, and it could be thousands a year. It costs, what, 6 cents per page for a color copy. So some of our packets, some pages are color, some aren't. It can be 50 to 150 pages long. And then there's other boards and commissions,
Makes
so.
sense.
Great. The city is not able to do the Bay Street infrastructure project that was outlined in the CIP, and that's because the water levels are expected to remain high and even potentially become higher. So the dewatering cost could be tens of thousands of dollars or over $100,000, and it just doesn't make sense to do that project now. So instead, Lucas and DPW is planning to shift over to doing the West 3rd Street infrastructure projects, which were projected to be done in 2021. And we're still gonna plan on doing Pennsylvania Avenue street upgrades there, so.
Really, even with the water being high.
Yeah, because we don't have to go as deep, it's not doing the same thing. So Bay Street was also the infrastructure,
Okay.
and Penn Street, Penn is still also further out in the water than Bay Street is. And then the last one is, major update there is Sally Young and Will DeFries canceled their request to hold the 2020 wedding in the green space. They didn't give many details other than there was too much uncertainty with the city's stipulations and regulations. I think Andy reached out to them with some additional questions, saying, hey, we can help you out, but I don't think they've responded. Yeah, so, it's a personal decision.
So not at the Harbor Master, not in Harbor, or?
Not at Harbor Springs.
Not in Harbor.
Yeah.
Oh, we tried.
And that's essentially it, unless I have any other questions or comments.
Yeah.
I guess the next would be the closed session, discuss pending Carter Williams lawsuit.
I've got one nominee for the boards and commissions, do that before we go into closed session. Amy Gillard, Gillard, would like to serve on the DDA board. And she's been active with the festival of the book. Seems like a little go-getter.
Sounds good.
The DDA now has a full board. Jim, would you like to read our motion?
I'll be happy to do that if you'd like.
Are you ready, Nick?
Yes.
We would need a motion from a council member that the city council meet in closed session under section 8E of the Open Meetings Act, specifically under section 8E to consult the city attorney regarding trial strategy in connection with the pending litigation involving Carter Williams, on the ground that an open meeting would have a detrimental financial effect on the litigating position of the city. Somebody would make that.
I would so move.
All in favor of going into closed session? Aye.